everyone, my name is Jennifer Stay. This is Coloring Bliss, and today we have some brand new crayons to try. We're going to compare them to Crayolas and to Caran, and these crayons are coming in from the United Kingdom. They are called Bambinos, and oh boy, do I have an epic drama-filled story to tell you about how they got to me. This has bumps, shipping bruises, and all kinds of excitement to tell you about, but I have them here and I've got an extra set to give away to you. So let's talk about Bambino crayons. Okay, what you're looking at here are the remnants of 3 attempts. Not 1, not 2, but 3 attempts to get the crayons to me from the United Kingdom. It was quite a sad thing. The very first time when we got our package, it was in this poor little bag. It was all torn up and empty, and it just said sorry from the United States Postal Service. They just said sorry. There were no crayons in it. It was really sad. So we contacted Bambino and said, oh no, something happened. Can we try again? Now, it's important for you to understand that Bambino is not sponsoring this video. We actually were contacted by several of our fans that said, you need to try the Bambino crayons. And so I placed an order with Bambino without them even knowing that I am Coloring Bliss. They just know me as, actually they know me as Steve Stay, my husband and business partner. And so they don't know who we are. So we contacted them and told them that there had been a shipping problem. They said, don't worry, we'll ship it out to you again. So sure enough, they put it in a box and sent it out again. I think it was this box. I can't remember. Anyway, when it came to us the second time, we could tell there was something wrong. There were notes on the package again saying sorry. And we were like, oh no. So sure enough, there was only 1 of the 3 things that we had ordered still left in the box. So evidently 2 of the things had disappeared. So I contacted Bambino again and told them what we had discovered, and they were so sweet. They said, do you want to try again? And we were like, yes, please, we want to try again. So for a 3rd time, they shipped another package out to us, and we finally got the final products. That's this one right here, and we are so glad that they were so persistent. Shipping internationally is not cheap. We do it quite often with Coloring Bliss's coloring books that we print and ship out, and it's very expensive. When you order with Bambino here in the United States, you have to pay for the shipping, but they must have lost money on this order because they had to ship to me 3 times in order for me to get this package. So I want to say thank you to Bambino if you end up watching this video. Thank you for being so persistent. It shows to me that you are a company that really do care about your customers. It doesn't matter to you who they are. You're out to get them their crayons that they ordered. So thank you. And my people are going to say thank you too, because in that very final package that you sent them is the extra set of crayons that I ordered to give as a giveaway to one of you. And I'm so glad that I did that. I'm glad I ordered an extra set of crayons so that someone can experience them and enjoy them. So I'm excited. I haven't tried them all. As you can see, they're all still in the bubble wrap. So let me show you what I got. Let me clean up this and let's do some unboxing and some swatching. Okay, so in the packages, the 3 packages, we ended up with some fun cards with some coloring images to have some practice with your new crayons. And there's some pretty on the back as well. Isn't that fun? And a little bit of promotional stuff from Bambino. So that's one thing that you receive. And then this is one of the products I ordered right here, where there are 12. They call them the Jumbo Crayons, pack of 12. You can see that they had a little trouble with the shipping on this as well. The pencils are poking out of their package just a little bit. I think it got bumped in shipping like this and it forced these pencils through. But they seem okay, so I'm excited to swatch them and see what they're like. And then we also ordered, excuse me, we also ordered the actual Bambino crayons. And I bought the 24 pack because they have metallics. And I love metallics. And I bought 2 sets of these, one for me and one to do a giveaway. Now there's a link in the video description with all the information you need to know about this giveaway. And coming up on the screen right now will be the dates of when the giveaway will start and end, and all the information you need to know about this giveaway. So if you're watching this video after the giveaway is over, don't worry, just make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next giveaway. We have another one planned coming up very soon, so don't worry, just make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss out on the next giveaway. So these are the 2 sets right here, and both look like they shipped really beautifully. I'm going to double check and make sure they both look good because I want to give the best set for the giveaway. So I'm going to set one to the side for the giveaway and the other one is for me. So the selling point about the Bambino crayons is that they are clay-based instead of wax-based. So all the crayons that I'm used to, the Crayolas, even the fancy Caran crayons, are all wax-based, and then they put the pigment into the wax and whatever other additives that they use. I'm not privy to all of that. But the difference here with the Bambino is that they are clay-based crayons. So I'm really curious to see the difference in the way they color, the way they blend, and the payoff of the color as they go down. So what I would like to do is do some swatching first to see how they look. I want to swatch them both on white and I want to swatch them on black. So I have 2 swatch books here. This is my Swatch Bliss Volume 1 that's printed on black paper. And I have Swatch Bliss Volume 2, which is printed on white paper. It's actually printed on a variety of papers. And I've done some Crayola and other swatching in here before. Right here from a different video where we were comparing Crayola versus Caran. I already have these swatched here. So on the next page, I'm going to swatch our Bambinos here. And then here in the Swatch Bliss Volume 1, we'll swatch the black right here onto black so we can see both how they perform on both types of paper. Okay, so I will cue the swatching montage and you can see how these crayons look on both types of paper. Okay, the first 12 crayons I'm going to swatch are from the Jumbo Crayon Pack of 12, and according to their website on May 25th, they are being sold for, in pounds, $5.99. So if you translate that to US dollars, that's $8.48 for the pack of 12. Now, I'll talk about shipping here in just a minute. Now, the second set of tools I'm going to be swatching are the Bambino Crayons Pack of 24 with the gold and silver. And on their website, in pounds, it's $7.90, which in US dollars is $11.18 for that pack of 24. Now, I paid £14.40 in shipping, which is $20.38 US dollars in shipping. So altogether, for all 3 of those to be shipped to me, plus the cost of the 3 packs of crayons, the whole thing in US dollars cost me $51.47. So shipping was very pricey, but it's about what I expected for international shipping. That was not a shock to me. And like I said, they did have to ship it 3 times, so I kind of think they lost money on me, which I feel bad about, but I really do appreciate them being persistent and getting the product to me so that I could do this review for you. One of the things I like about swatching on black paper is that it really exposes a crumbly or dusty coloring product. So as I was swatching the Bambino crayons, I was watching for dust or crumbs, and they were very minor with the dust and crumbs that was coming off of them as I swatched. And as I began swatching these Crayola crayons, oh boy, was I reminded of why I don't reach for a wax crayon very often. They are just very crummy. Look at all those crumbs coming off of those crayons. And if you look above at the swatches from the Bambinos, it just looks beautiful and almost dust and crumb free. Okay, we have all the swatching done, so let's take a little comparison look between the three different brands, Bambino, Crayola, and Caran, because it tells quite an interesting story. Okay, so here we have the Bambino crayons on white, and from here on up, the Bambino crayons on black. Down here is the Crayola crayons on black. And like I said, crumbs like crazy is normal for a wax crayon. It's not a fault of Crayola, it's just a property of Crayola. They're also a lot more translucent, as you can see. The black of the paper is shining up through that wax, and not as much of the pigment or the color is showing. So that's one property that we can know for sure about the Crayolas. When you look at the Crayolas up here on the white, and then down here is the Caran Neocolor one on white. So here is a comparison of a Caran to Bambino. Caran is very expensive, high-end crayon. Let me give you an idea. The Neocolor ones are $21.73 on Amazon right now for 15 colors. That's US. And that's compared to US for $11 right here. So roughly twice the cost. For fewer colors for the Caran. And then if you look over here, if you look at the Caran Neocolor one on black right here, that's what they look like on black versus our Bambinos on black. So it's a little trickier here because we're on two separate pages, but here's Neocolor ones on black and the Bambinos on black. So the Bambinos are definitely better than the Crayolas on black. That's for sure. But I still think the Neocolors are brighter, more vivid on black, but the Bambinos are half the cost. Now the Bambinos have a dust. If you want to look at, can you see that dust that's coming off here? If I go like that, it smears that dust. Can you see that? So there is a dust for the Bambinos, but it's not like the crumbs, the waxy crumbs that we get on a standard waxy crayon. Now the Caran Neocolor ones don't put off much of a wax. So if you're looking for a waxy crayon to color with that doesn't have that crumb like the Crayolas, the Caran Neocolor ones are a really good wax crayon to work with. Now, as far as the feel of the Bambino crayons, they are clay-based, not wax-based, so they feel very different when you color with them. They feel a little like a color pencil. So the two of them, the jumbo crayons and these crayons here, feel very similar when you're coloring with them, which was interesting. An interesting experience. The other thing that I worried about as I colored with these tiny little guys here, they're very, very thin, and my hands tend to get quite hot when I color, and they can, like, I've broken standard crayons before, so I'm a little worried, will these stand up to my grip and the heat of my hand without snapping? Let me show you the size difference between a standard like Crayola crayon versus a Bambino crayon. So here, and let me grab just a basic Bambino crayon here. So they are shorter than a Crayola crayon, and as far as the diameter, they're quite a bit thinner than a Crayola crayon. Let me get a brighter color so it'll be on camera a little better. There, I'll hold that kind of still for a second so you can see the difference in diameter, that there's quite a difference. So a lot less product here in this Bambino crayon. But does that really matter? Maybe it won't wear down as fast. That's what we're going to find out when we go to our coloring type test here. We want to see how long does the crayon last as we color with it. Will it break in my hand, and how is it going to blend and layer as we color with it? Because we're all pretty familiar with how a Crayola crayon colors. We've done challenges before where we've colored with Crayolas versus Caran. I'll put a link to that video in the description so you can check that out. Now let me show you a close-up of the giant color pencil here. These are kind of interesting. This is what they look like. They don't have any information on them as far as a color name. Neither does the little crayons. Just says Bambino on it. So it's pretty plain. The cores are relatively centered. This one though is a little off-centered, so that's not good. But it has a big core, lots of product here, and it definitely feels nice and big in my hand, but not overly big, so I don't feel like, you know, I've got too much in my hand, and I felt like I could really lean in on it when I was coloring with it and wouldn't worry about breaking it. So then it gave me a sharpener, a little manual handheld sharpener here, because it is a bigger color pencil, so we need a special sharpener to go with it. Let's take a look at that. This looks like just a typical cheap sharpener, except it has the bigger hole. So nothing too special here except that it fits the actual tool. So that's really good to have along with a special tool like that. Okay, so I think the next thing we need to do is actually color and see how this works. I'm going to be working in this book right here. This is Flower Bliss Volume 1, kind of an older book that I drew, so the style of drawing is a little older, but still a really good book if you're looking for simple flowers. This one was printed on my color pencil paper, so it has a more tooth and texture for the crayons to grip onto and lay down some nice layers. So it should be really good. I've got a really simple drawing back here that I thought I would work on, and maybe we'll just color one with the Bambinos, maybe one with the Bambino pencils, and maybe I'll do a little bit of Caran and a little bit of Crayola here and there, and then I'll come back and let you know how I feel about the coloring experience with all of these different products. Don't forget, I am giving away a set of these Bambino crayons so that you can try out a clay-based crayon from the United Kingdom. Okay, so the first thing I discovered as I'm coloring with these Bambino crayons is they don't necessarily like to layer. They like to blend, but lots of layers, they don't seem to like that. So the first half of this flower, I was doing a light, medium, and dark red-violet blend with white to blend out the very tips of the petals. And anytime I was blending a couple colors together, things went well, but as soon as I started layering multiple layers of colors, things just got kind of muddy and hard to make the colors do what I wanted to do. So I think I'm going to, on the second half of this flower, do something a little different. Okay, so as soon as I changed over to not layering with the Bambino crayons, but just blending a couple colors together, everything started to get easier, and oh, they love to blend together, and I got some really pretty blends in this flower. Okay, this next flower I'm going to color with the jumbo crayons, and one of the strange things about this set of pencils is the colors that they've given us to work with. There's only one blue, there's no purple. It's just sort of a strange grouping, so to get a light, medium, and dark of certain color groupings is tricky. Like I said, just one blue. There are 2 greens. Yeah, it's a little bit odd. You do get a silver and a gold, which is fun. So I'm going to do some coloring here and see what I can come up with. Do these layer? Do they blend? Let's find out. Alright, now I'm working on the flower that will feature the Caran Neocolor 1 crayons, which are a wax-based crayon, and they are a high-grade artist type crayon. To keep it fair, I'm going to just do a 2-color blend, just like I was doing with the Bambino crayons. So let's see how these look compared to the kids' grade Bambino clay-based crayons. So right away with the Caran, you can feel a huge step up in payoff with the pigments and the creaminess, and they're just a delight to work with. They are a very high-end tool. They layer and blend, and even after you've put down a ton of wax down, you can come back and add details on top. If you ever want to try a really fun tool, the Neocolor ones are really awesome to play with. Like I said though, they are quite expensive, so they are a luxury tool, and they may not be for everyone because they are still a crayon. In the end, they are still just a crayon, a wax crayon. Time for the Crayolas. Now I saved the simple border for the Crayolas because I knew this probably wouldn't be the most fun part of this coloring page. So we'll just lay down some quick color, and yeah, we all know what to expect here. Waxy crumbs and not a great fun coloring experience, but we'll make it work. Here comes the Crayola border. Okay, there's one last thing I would like to test with these Bambino jumbo crayons, and that's the pencil sharpener. So I'm going to use this light blue color pencil and lay a whole bunch of it down for the background to try to wear the tip down a bit before we test the pencil sharpener. Okay, I think we're done over here now. We'll talk about this here in just a second, but let's test this little sharpener out on the blue pencil and see how it goes. Remember, the proper way to sharpen with the color pencil sharpener like this is to hold the pencil still and move the sharpener around the pencil. That way you'll protect your pencil. And let's see how this little sharpener performs, getting us back to a nice sharp point. Okay, there you have it, some nice curls. So it works. It was actually quite difficult to turn. That could be because the blade itself isn't great, or it could be because the wood itself is very rigid. I guess that's a good word for it. So you could try it in a different sharpener, like this is the Mega Crayola sharpener that I purchased for those pencils, and it looks like it would fit in there, so you could use that one. I also have the Coom, which we know is an excellent blade. This is a German blade that stays sharp for a really long time, and it looks like it will fit into there as well. A little bit wobbly, but I think it would work in there as well. So if this one failed on you, that's what I would recommend. So it's a pretty curl to add to my jar of curls. So that's fantastic. Okay, let's talk about the coloring. All right, I had fun coloring with the crayons, both the Bambino, the little ones, and the big jumbo crayons. They were both fun, but they both felt like children's grade crayons versus like a professional artist grade, which is what we expected, especially when you look at the packaging and the way it's marketed when you go on their website. It's all marketed towards the children market. Speaking of children, these tiny little crayons here are definitely made for children's hands. They feel very small and breakable, and I can't help but think as they wear down, they're going to get smaller and smaller and even harder for adult hands to hold and manage. All the coloring I did, which wasn't a lot, they didn't wear down that fast. Let's take a peek here. You can see that one there has worn down a bit. So yeah, wearing down, not too fast, but like I said, as they get shorter, they're going to get harder and harder to manage. That's probably my only complaint, the size of the crayon. And yeah, that they feel a little bit underpigmented. As far as the feel and the lack of crumbs, that's amazing. They feel sort of dry, where a waxy crayon feels a little sticky and kind of buttery. These feel sort of dry, but not in a bad, scratchy way. It's a very different feel to them, and that's kind of fun. They don't like to layer. They do not like to layer, but they do like to blend. So I was able to get some really pretty blends. Let me bring that up to screen for you. Over here was where I was attempting to layer and got really frustrated and wasn't able to get some deep, pretty colors here. But once I gave up on layering and just went for 2-color blends, they did some really pretty things. This is a 2-color blend, 2-color blend. Here in the center, what I tried to do was I laid down violet here and orange here in those checkers and then went over the top of it with white. That's a way to tint down the color to get a different, like more pastel version of color to see if that would work. It also helps blend out the product so that it goes down into the nooks and crannies of the paper so it doesn't show the little white flecks as much. And it was semi-successful. Again, I think that's that layering problem that these crayons have. But I got some pretty results and I'm quite pleased with it. Now the jumbo crayons, that's these here, they layered a little bit better. I think you get a max 3 layers out of it, but they are much more on the lower pigmented scale. So the colors just seem a little kind of muted to me. The outer edges of the petals were the metallics. So let's move that in the light so you can see the shine that the metallics paid off, which you do get a shine. And we're on white paper and we got a shine. So that's pretty good. I was impressed with that. I do like the bigger pencils. I'm kind of becoming a fan between these and the Cretacolors that are the bigger jumbo pencils. I'm kind of liking these big pencils. They feel good in the hand and you can really lean in on them and they feel good. So I like that about them. I was able to cover large swatches of this background really quickly with those big pencils, and that was fun. And it sharpened well. Now down here are where I colored with the Neocolors right here, and out here is the Crayolas. Now the Crayolas did exactly what I thought they would. They were waxy and sticky. And they're not that fun to color with. That's why it's kind of sad that we give them to our kids. Of course, with children, they just want to lay color down. They're not necessarily looking to blend and layer and do that kind of effect. But the minute their creativity changes and you see that in your child, I would highly recommend giving them a better quality product to work with so that they don't get frustrated and discouraged, because Crayola crayons will only get them so far in their artistic endeavors. Now the Caran on the other hand, they will layer and they'll start blending when you just color with them together, just coloring and rubbing one color on top of the other. They start to blend, and they are really fun to work with. But like I said, they are still in essence a crayon, and so if you don't like to work with crayons, you may not want to invest in the Caran Neocolor ones. I would first send you to the Caran Neocolor 2s because you get that water-soluble payoff that you don't get with the Caran Neocolor ones. It really depends on your situation and what you want out of the tool. Now, the next thing I want to try with my crayons, I have another video idea ahead of me, and that's to try it with heat. There's a type of art called encaustic art where they warm up waxes and they do beautiful artworks with warm wax. And you can kind of play around with encaustic art with crayons. It's not exactly the same as fine encaustic art, but it's enough that I can play around with the technique. So you can watch for an upcoming video where I'll be playing with all these products, the Bambinos, the Crayolas, the Caran, all of them with encaustic art, and we'll see, does that change how I feel about these products when they're warmed up? We'll try both just slightly warmed up, and we'll try actually melting them and doing some art with them. It should be lots of fun. So make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss out on that upcoming video. And remember, we're giving away this set of the Bambino crayons, the ones I haven't touched or colored with. It's brand new, straight from the United Kingdom, and I want it to go to one of you. So follow the link in the video description. There'll be lots of different ways to enter. The date of this giveaway, the day that you need to get your entries in, it's coming up on the screen right now. And remember that if you're watching this video after the date on that screen, don't dismay, because we will have future upcoming giveaways. I've got lots planned. So just make sure you're subscribed and you have the notification bell rung so that you don't miss out on future giveaways. And good luck to everyone who enters for this giveaway. I can't wait for you to try these out and see this very unique product and how it works for your coloring. I'm excited to hear about it. Comment below. Have you ever tried this kind of crayon? Do you like coloring with crayons? Is this something that interests you and makes you excited about coloring, or are you like, I'll pass on these crayons? I'd love to hear from you, so comment below and let me know what you think. Thanks for joining me. I think this turned out really good, especially considering that all of them except this one right here were done with kids' crayons. Pretty cool. What do you think, Rose? Did it turn out good? I don't think she cares, and that's okay. I hope you guys all have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye, everyone. Say bye, Rose. Say bye.